Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Joey, and in today's video, all we're going to be doing is a question and answer. So I have some requests from you guys to do a Q&A, and so I thought now that I am about to hit 5K, let's do it. Let's get to know me a little better and you by the questions that you ask. So I posted on the community page on my YouTube channel, and I also did a little post on my Instagram so that people could put in their questions. So let's go ahead and begin. If you have to choose between Amsterdam and New York, which one would you choose? And actually, this is a question that I get from people personally, but my answer is always that I would rather not choose. I love the both cities for what they are. I love New York for what it is, and I love Amsterdam for what it is, and I just don't compare. It's kind of like if you have two children or two pets, you don't really compare them. You just love them both the way they are. New York is amazing. New York is a city. I love cities, big cities. So I love that as well. Now, Amsterdam is also a city. It's not super large, but it gives you everything that a city needs. But I just think that it's super gezellig and beautiful, and the country of the Netherlands is amazing to live in. So I love both for what they are. So, long answer short, I would not choose one. I would choose both of them. Have you seen Eurovision? I actually saw a little snippet of the Eurovision from, I think it was last year, and it was nice. I did not watch it, of course, but I would like to watch it. I've heard from many friends and from my boyfriend that I would probably be the kind of guy who would like Eurovision. So stay tuned for that in the next Eurovision. Hey Joey, can you make a video for those of us visiting New York for the first time on the tips and trick? And yes, I can actually. I would love to make a video to give you guys the recommendations of where to go or what to eat or what to do. So I will definitely work on a video for New York City recommendations on my part. Is there something you enjoy that you are slightly embarrassed of? Now, I'm not the type of person to be easily embarrassed about things or to be ashamed of things that I like. So I have to really think about that. For example, food, I really love junk food. I love chips, I love fries, I love anything fried. I love burgers, I love chicken burgers, I love chicken nuggets. I don't really like fish so much. I love, oh my gosh, desserts. I love donuts and pies and cakes and red velvet and cream cheese frosting and bagels. So yeah, I mean, I love fatty food. I love fries, and I love junk food, but I'm not ashamed of that at all. Music-wise, I love your everyday pop music, Ariana Grande, but I also love techno. I really don't have like a genre that I would ever be embarrassed of liking. I think country music, but I really don't like country music so much. But yeah, I can't really think of something that I like that I'm a little bit ashamed of. I'm trying really hard to think about. I think I don't like to go to the gym. I'm a sports instructor and I love row cycle and that type of spinning, but I'm not a gym person. I'm not really embarrassed about it, but I think that comes with a little bit of stigma because since I am a sports instructor, I think I'm supposed to be into the gym and into lifting weights, and I am not that whatsoever. So not that I'm embarrassed of that, but I think that's the thing that people can, I guess, judge me for a little bit more, but I'm not the type to be embarrassed about things. So yeah. And you shouldn't either. I think there shouldn't be anything in your life or that you like that you should be embarrassed of because, I mean, fuck it, who cares? You have one life to live. YOLO. That's all I think. You know me. Hey Joey, hoe gaat het met jou? I would like to know if you miss your family and or friends. I miss my friends so much. My beautiful New York friends and my Texas friends. I miss them so dearly. I wish that I could see them every day, and I wish that I could have coffee with them every day, but I live far away, so that doesn't happen. But that's okay, because I think with true friendships, you can just pick up where you left off. In terms of family, I don't talk to my immediate family. We don't have any contact, but some family, I talk to like a cousin and one of my sisters, and I miss them as well. But because of that, the not having contact with the family so much, it's not hard for me to live far away. I think if you had a close relationship with your family, then it would be much difficult. But I'm not in that position, so it's pretty easy for me. I'm also not the type of person who gets homesick easily, so that's also I think a thing that is really easy about me. Have you seen any Dutch movies, and are there any that you liked? Yes, I have seen one Dutch movie, Belladonna's, and I loved it. It was so fun. It was just so clever, and I actually ended up meeting Caroline at my job, who played one of the leading ladies in that, and I talked to her about it, and I really told her that I thought that they did such a great job. It had such a great individual vibe, and it reminded me a little bit of Pitch Perfect, even though there was no singing in Belladonna's. But I really did like it, and I do like to watch Dutch films because I want to oefenen in my Nederlands. So I try and watch some more, and I know there's been more that I've watched with Nick, but none that I can remember. So if I think about them, I will comment below. If you know of any good Dutch movies that you think I should watch, please let me know. Comment. I need good Dutch films, please. Are you always feeling the sunny side of life, and do we get to see the real you? Yes, I am 99% of the time feeling the sunny side up of life. And I think in my YouTube, you do get to see most of me. Of course, there's a more vulnerability that I can show, but it's just a little bit hard when you're just speaking to a camera and it's just you and a camera. It's, I think, easier to be vulnerable when it's with actual people, but I try and really be vulnerable about my feelings and about my family and about my relationship. And it's not perfect, but I think that I have a viewpoint that you just have to make sure that you don't let yourself fall into a negative pattern, and you're not always just feeling bad about what happens, or bad for yourself, or bad about these things. Of course, I hate the rainy weather, but I don't really talk about it too much, or I don't let it affect me too much, because I think the more you put energy into it, the more that it becomes even a bigger reality. So you do get to see the sunny side of me, and you get to see like a little bit of my vulnerability, but I generally feel pretty good, which is really nice. But if you ever want me to answer a deep question, I'm very open about anything, so just let me know. I have no problem with being vulnerable, and I really want to be vulnerable with you guys, so I hope that I am coming across as vulnerable. If not, comment below. I would love to know that, if you think that I'm acting perfect, or that I'm acting happy all the time, because I think that maybe there's a perception that I am, but I actually am this way. Is there anything that you don't like about the Netherlands? Yes, the weather. I think that it was cloudy for like 3 months, and for me, I cannot handle that. That was a big shock. So I think that that would be the only downfall. And the following of the rules. Dutch people love to follow rules. Americans don't really love to follow rules. So there's some sort of tug between that. So I think that there's that disconnection. Like I think people in the street, when I'm like not following a rule or something, they look at me like I'm supposed to be following the rule, and I get really kind of upset. Like, why are you in my business? Do your damn thing. Don't worry about me. But I think that that's just the culture, and I think that I'll get used to it eventually. But those are the two things, the weather and the regels, the loving the rules. Have I ever been to Belgium? Yes, I actually went to Antwerpen, and I thought that it was so cute and it was so charming, and I actually want to go to Belgium really, really bad, and other parts, of course. So I should be doing trips there soon. If anybody knows a beautiful place that I should visit in Belgium, drop it down in the comments. I would love to know. If you are a Belgian viewer, thank you so much. Mwah. Love you. How was your consciousness brought in throughout your life, and am I a spiritual person? I was raised very Christian, so I was very spiritual towards the Christian God. But I myself, I am a spiritual person. I am about heightened consciousness, and I think that it was always a thing when I was young because of my religion. But this was a switch that I did when I was in university that led me to switch from the consciousness and the spirituality to the Christian God to the consciousness and spirituality of yourself, and I think just the universe. So it really shifted my thoughts. And now that I really don't believe in the Christian God, and I believe more in just yourself and your power and your spirit and your connection to the universe and other spirits, I think I was heightened a little bit more into that aspect. But I never was not a spiritual person, and I never was not a highly conscious person because of that. So I think that was a good thing about being raised very Christian. It just gave me that sense of spirituality and the consciousness that I really am connected with throughout the day and just throughout my life. Thank you for that question. What is your favorite lunch place in Amsterdam? I love two places. I love Bakers and Roasters, which you've seen in my vlogs, and I love Cafe George. Bakers and Roasters is like from New Zealand, and it's super amazing. They have pancakes and really delicious food. And Cafe George is, I think, a French bistro, and it's really nice, and they have French fries, oh my god, to die for. Their club sandwich is hair liquor. Yeah, those are my two favorites. Check them out. Moving on to the Instagram questions. Here we go. When is your birthday? January the 6th. It actually just passed. Did you ever think you were going to date a European guy? Yes, actually. I always knew that I was not going to date an American. I always thought that I would end up with an Australian, but European also. But I always knew that it wasn't going to be an American guy. Do you speak Spanish? Claro que sí. Yo soy mexicano y crecí en Texas con una familia mexicana. Entonces mi cultura mexicana es la primera cultura que yo conocí. Entonces mi primer lenguaje también fue español. Yo hablaba español nomás con mi papá y mi mamá. Y el inglés lo aprendí nomás en mis estudios cuando empecé la escuela. Pero yo hablo español primero que el inglés. El inglés es mi segundo lenguaje. Y me encanta hablar español. Lo quiero practicar mucho. But yeah, yes, I do. What animal would be the cutest if it was scaled down to the size of a cat? I think a little giraffe. Picture it, just a tiny little giraffe and a really long neck. I think that for me would be my ideal pet. So cute. What's your favorite album? I love The Blessed Unrest by Sarah Bareilles. It's gorgeous. It's gotten songs about New York, and when it came out, I would listen to it on the subway all the time. So now every time that I listen to it, it just really transports me back to New York in the subway in the winter time. I think it was like February. It's my favorite. You guys should listen to it. Sarah Bareilles, The Blessed Unrest. Wat is jouw favoriete Nederlandse snack? Lekker hoor. Mijn favoriete Nederlandse snack is... Ik heb twee favorites, maar frietjes, tuurlijk. Maar ik denk dat alle mensen hier in Nederland vinden het de lekkerste. Dus frietjes met mayo. En ook een broodje kroket. Ik ga helemaal gek over die broodje kroket. Met mosterd. Ik vind dit zo lekker. Elke keer dat Nick en ik gaan naar de Zout, wij stappen naar een gasstation en wij eten een broodje kroket. Het is misschien onze ritual. En ik denk een broodje kroket met mosterd en frietjes met mayo is mijn perfecte combination. Lekker hoor. Wat vinden jullie het lekkerste van Nederlandse snackjes? What is your biggest dream? My biggest dream is to impact people in a positive way. I think my biggest dream is to make sure that people understand that life is complicated, life is difficult, life is, amazing, life is beautiful, but above all, life is you and life is yours. And I think my goal is to make sure people live for them and that they understand that they are good enough, that no matter what judgments or anything, that they are fine. And I think that's my major goal. In what way can I accomplish that? Still trying to figure that out, but that is my major dream, my major goal in life. And last but not least, the question I got from like a bazillion people is, how did you meet Nick? All right. So I had just gotten back from doing some musicals, and I was away from New York, doing them in another city, in another state. And I had just gotten back from New York City, and I was on Tinder, and we matched, of course, and we started talking, and of course he started making comments about his cute little accent and the fact that he wasn't an American and that he was only here for a short amount of time. So we met, it was I think in August, the end of August, and he had just gotten to New York for his work, and he was going to be there for like 6 months, and that 2 weekends later, we were chatting on, I think at this point we had switched to Messenger on Apple Messages, because in America we don't use WhatsApp. But then he invited me out for coffee and to walk around the Brooklyn Bridge. So we walked around the Brooklyn Bridge with coffee at like 2 in the afternoon. I was so late, poor baby, and he was waiting for me. He was so sweet. The trains weren't running. It was on the weekend, so I had to take a cab from like a stop in like the middle of nowhere in New York. And then we walked the Brooklyn Bridge during the day, and we walked through Brooklyn. We ate at Shake Shack, and we just had such a great time. We walked back at night, and I called my best friend and I said, I think I found the love of my life. Not kidding. And that was it. That is how I met Nick on Tinder. Now, I hope that you guys had some answers and that you guys got to know me a little bit better. If you have any other questions, always send them to me. I am completely an open book, and I would love to answer anything. So just let me know. Now, if you haven't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and also click the little bell, because then you get a notification when I post a new video, and it's so much more gorge, and I'm gonna love you so much more. So habanero, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, and comment below. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!